Good morning, dear diary. So today will be a day one. I haven't done my gratitude journal today. I actually don't think I've done it in a couple of days. So I think it would be really, really good for me to do a kind of check-in on that. I'm really, really sorry. I'm just distracted by how dirty this camera is. That's better. That's better. So yeah. I did end up using last night despite not seeing Alex, but I already knew that. I think that's why I hadn't been taking any Valium during the day. I'd just been trying to find other activities to keep me busy, and then started smoking that night after dinner. So yeah, at least I sort of held off, even though I think there was a bit of an urge to use a little bit earlier in the day just because I guess I could. So now actually just recognizing in this very moment that that was actually a little bit of discipline that I had, and I was working on building resilience. So acknowledgement, go mate, yay for you. I did get a little bit upset last night. I mean, yesterday was interesting because obviously it was the first time I feel like I've reacted to a situation differently. By that I mean, rather than being defeated by someone else's reaction towards me and stuff, I was just like, you know what, I'm fed up with always feeling like this or being made to feel like this, always being gaslighted or whatever, painted out to be the villain when I'm not. I will always own my behavior. If I'm acting out of line or if I've been misinterpreted, then of course give me the opportunity to clear things up. But without that, then I am just being painted out like I have no redeeming qualities, and that's not true. So I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. So yeah, I called my mum because mom's like, how's your day? I haven't had a chance to see your videos. And I was like, oh, like, not bad, not great, but not bad. And started to sort of say about how this frustration's come about with Alex. And I guess it frustrated her to hear that, because she's like, well, you said on Monday that, you know, you were quite upset and because you couldn't be friends with Alex anymore. And then you go and see him on Wednesday, and now you're talking about you two going to the markets together. So I'm just a little confused. And I mean, like, yesterday was interesting because I guess for me, and I think I shared this in another video, like I kind of reflected on my relationship with Alex and that it's always been turbulent and that it's always made me feel it doesn't bring out the best qualities in me. But Alex does love me unconditionally and will always forgive me for that kind of behavior, because he knows it's not really me. But I don't think he realizes that he actually brings it out in me, just like I bring out negative traits in other people too when I'm not well myself. So I mean, that was already something that obviously I acknowledged yesterday. I'm pretty sure I touched on it quickly in a video. But then even I remember, 12 years ago or so, when I broke up with Alex, and I reckon for maybe like the next month or so still afterwards, I really struggled to let him go. And I remember there would be times where like I would be at pub after uni, and like we'd all be there with our friends and stuff, and Alex would be there, like, and Alex and I would still be like, like, just because the romantic, side of the relationship had ended, he was still my best friend, really, like my best, one of my really, really good close friends who knew so much about me. And so, we would still hang around each other all the time. And I would call mum to be like, hey, can Alex come and stay over tonight? Because I don't want to be alone. Like, nothing sexual is going to happen. I just I don't want to be alone tonight. And I remember, even back then, mum saying things like, does Alex understand that it's not a relationship thing? Like, I'm, mindful, and that, you two aren't together anymore, but you're still having sleepovers. So it might be sending him a very confusing message. But like, I would always chat to Alex about it beforehand and things like that. And I think we hadn't told his mum that we'd broken up yet. I think I went and stayed over at his place one time. And maybe that's because I wasn't, fully ready to let him go. So it was sort of like, oh, we're on a break, but we're still seeing each other, but we're still hanging out, or I don't know. But anyway, regardless, the point I'm trying to make is that it's always been really, really difficult to leave him, and it always hurts, and that's why I take so long to do it. So I mean, that's where that came from. But then to feel like it was so frustrating to other people what I'm doing with my life, and yeah, I don't know, it just felt really shit. And I said, like, oh, she was like, why are you calling me and complaining about this? I'm like, I'm not complaining about anything. You asked me what happened today, so I'm telling you what's happened today. And then all you want to do is like pick on why that's happened today when it shouldn't have happened at all if I had just stuck to what I said 4 days ago or 2 days ago or this, that, or whatever. And I guess I kind of feel like, well, if you've been following along, I kind of have already explained the why. It's not an excuse. I've got a lot of shit to work on. I do know that. And I'm still trying to figure it all out. So yeah, I ended up getting really upset, and even though as I said yesterday, with those other relationships, I had a very new response to them, and then talking to my mum, I kind of went straight back to my old ones, and ended up finishing the phone call by saying fuck you, except she was just still talking loudly and frustrated with me. So I said it a few times to make sure that she could hear me, and because she kept going, I just hung up on her because I didn't need to hear that. And then she sent me a message saying, I heard you say fuck you and then you hung up. I will remember that. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't care if you remember it or if you forget it. Like, the way that you were behaving was not fair, frankly. If you were frustrated with me, that's fine, but talk about it. Don't go off at me. If you can't understand why I'm behaving in certain ways and you would like to understand, then ask and we can have a calm and collected conversation about it. But to throw attitude at me, when I'm trying to be authentic and vulnerable, is counterproductive. And I guess maybe from that experience, I think what is really being communicated to me is to not rely on my mother so much as a support, because she can only support so much until she doesn't understand. And then and then we both fall back into old habits, I guess. That's the only way I can see it. It triggered a lot of shitty thoughts, and basically I came up with a plan to kill myself Monday night, tomorrow night, after I've finished with my clients, because I won't have anyone else, you know, for a week or so. And Mum can find my body 24 hours later when it's too late. And, you know, she can have a very Merry Christmas taking care of that. And then I almost wanted to say, don't come here. I don't want to deal with you on Christmas Day. And then I'm like, you can't say that, mate. It's their house. So, yeah. I don't know. Shit is shit, I guess. But also good. Like, things are changing, but it's forcing me to let go of a lot of things and let go of trying to control things. All I can control is myself and my responses. And sometimes people bring out responses in me that I don't want to align myself with, that don't reflect who I truly am and who I want to be and how I want to show up in this world. And I don't know if, I guess the tricky thing from here is determining if these people are meant to be in my life and I'm supposed to learn the lesson of how to manage, or if it's a sign that they've served their purpose and they don't have to be in my life anymore. That's where I just sort of get a little bit not quite sure. And and then my higher self has just said, that's where you ask the universe and your guides for clarity, May, instead of just trying to like guess your way through it and then getting really upset because you've guessed wrong. So lots to think about. I'm even thinking I might not do these videos so much. I think I want to keep the videos more for I guess when I've got several thoughts or a lot of thoughts that it's just easier to talk them out rather than trying to grab one to write down. But I definitely feel like at the moment, and maybe it's because I've gone back to sort of using again, my thoughts are a bit slower, at least slow enough to be able to manage writing a thought out at a time. Yeah, I think journaling would be a really, really good skill to have. I think it will help with my general writing. Don't get too comfy because I'm going to move my legs soon. You cutie pie. She's been so sweet. I reckon Luna's been back to visit. She's just been, yeah, really funny. And last night she was just walking up and down the hallway crying out, and I heard her scratching at a door, which I thought was Erica's door, so I thought she maybe missed Erica being here and was a bit lonely. But she just put your bum on the camera. She was actually up at Mum and Dad's door, so I don't know what that's about. Don't know what that's about. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to jump off instead of talking to my cat in front of the camera. So yeah, that's just a bit of a check-in. Obviously, most mornings I do tend to feel quite good. I start the day off really, really well, so it's just a matter of maintaining that. I didn't get to the gym this morning, and I think, and so what I've done now is I've gone back through the Fernwood app and just re-looked at the classes that I've kind of booked myself in for and sort of removed any of the ones that happen too early in the morning. So, because it's just not realistic for me to be up before 7 o'clock really, at the moment. So yeah, more mid-morning or later in the day classes would probably be more realistic. And so now I know that when I find myself in a situation like I was last night, use that time to go to the gym, use that time to be physically productive, because you'll always have time for social media. So yeah, I'm learning little things and making note of it. and growing, which is the main thing. I definitely feel like I'm growing and changing, and I'm finally moving into a space where I'm actually ready for and embracing these changes rather than, feeling quite diminished and intimidated and overwhelmed by them. So here's hoping I can keep it going. Here's hoping I can keep that bravery to keep facing the problems. And the biggest thing is obviously the bravery to face the pain and heartache that is blocking my heart and has blocked my heart for a few years now. Facing that pain and resisting the urge to escape it with pills or cannabis or other people as a distraction. And I think that's really the challenge to come. So when that comes, I don't know if I will do as many videos, or if I do, I might keep them unlisted. And if you want to know anything, send me a message and I'll send you the link. I don't know if it's really good for me to be broadcasting such a personal journey, especially because I don't know what sorts of things are going to come up with it, with everything. And already, I'm clearly being misinterpreted by some people, not just my mum, so I'm not having a go at your mum if you do watch this. Other people as well, taking little bits of information and then using it to make a presumption about the whole picture, when I'm available to ask a question and answer it for you, as authentically as I can. Anyway, that's me. I don't think I will do another check-in before I head to Harcourt unless I feel like I really, really need to. My plan from now is to just quickly jump out, have another cigarette, and then jump on the computer and do some admin Fox Therapies kind of work until maybe 12:30ish, and then start getting ready to head to Harcourt. I've got 2 pies left. I'm trying to work out if I want to have a pie for lunch and a pie for dinner, or if I just want to have something else. But I don't think I have anything else to have for lunch, so maybe pies it is. It's a lot of pastry. All right, I'm off. Have a good day, and I will check back in when I get the chance to. If you want to hear from me before then, just send me a message.